everybody, welcome. If you are new, my name is Chris, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I'm finally getting around to doing my summer nights video. I've been meaning to do this for about a month, but you know, life happens and it's the end of July. Better late than never. We still have at least 6 weeks to go for summer. So if you want to see what I have pulled for today's video, keep watching. So the fragrances that I've pulled for tonight's video, they run the gamut. I have affordable ones and some high-end ones. I also have some ones I haven't talked about before and a few that I have mentioned in other videos, so I think I have something for everybody. The first one on the list is a fragrance I haven't talked about in any of my videos, but it was the fragrance I wore the most during summer nights last year. So to me, this is just the epitome of a summer night fragrance. It is by Paco Rabanne and it is Olympia Intense. I did test both the Olympia and the Olympia Intense and the EDP and the EDT versions, and I actually like the Intense version the most. Yeah, I really like it. This one, it was a little bit sweeter, had more vanilla, so this is basically, you know, salt, vanilla, and amber. And it just smells like the perfect summer caramel. I just love it. I don't have a lot of vanillic fragrances that I like to wear in the summer because they can be a little bit overwhelming, but this has just the right amount of aquatic note to it to make it, to smooth it out and keep it from being too cloying. So yeah, I wore this all the time last year, even if I was just staying at home. And this would be a perfect fragrance if I was going to dine out al fresco or somewhere over the water. I think this would be a perfect fragrance. I still love it so much. And when I see this sitting on my dresser, I just think of summer nights. Yeah, it's a perfect one, Olympia Intense. The next one up is a very famous fragrance I have never spoken about before, but I think it is the epitome of a nighttime or an evening fragrance. It's by Frederick Malle, and it is the famous Musc Ravageur. I think Frederick Malle really nailed it when he created this fragrance. It is a sexy, you know, animalic, musky amber. That's the best way I can think to describe it. This is the EDP version. So the EDP version has aromatic notes in the beginning. I think like tangerine and lavender, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and the dry down is a sweet, cinnamony, musky scent with kind of a little bit of a dirty amber. There's just something that is so appealing about this fragrance, and when I wear it, my significant other finds it very nice and attractive. This is just the epitome of a alluring, sexy date night fragrance, and so I think it would be hard to make a list like this and not include Musc Ravageur. The next one up made my list, not because it is a classic or an obvious date night or summer night fragrance. It made my list because my significant other absolutely loves it when I wear this fragrance. Out of all the fragrances that I have, when I spray this, he stops and asks me, "What did you just spray? It smells so good." So I would obviously think about wearing this on a nice summer night. It happens to be a vanilla fragrance. Not all vanillas do well in the summertime, but this is a great year-round vanilla fragrance, and I think it does really well in the summertime because the way it is composed. It is by the house of Arquiste, and this is called the Architect's Club. Now this is a woody aromatic vanilla. This is not a foodie vanilla. This is very different from a gourmand. This has notes, the aromatic notes, which keep it really light. And it is supposed to kind of conjure up the idea of people, architects, sitting in some fancy club, sipping on cocktails. So there is definitely a martini vibe in this one. There's juniper, there's lemon. There's definitely angelica in here, gives it kind of a greenness to it, but it dries down to a nice woody vanilla, a natural woody vanilla, that has just a touch of leather, and I mean a touch of leather in the dry down, almost imperceptible. I don't love leather. I can take it in little bits and pieces. This just has just enough to give it a warmth, but it's beautiful. This is very, very, very similar to Eau d'Huile. If you have Eau d'Huile, then you know what this smells like. The difference is this has lemon, juniper, and angelica, so a little bit brighter notes that Eau d'Huile does not have. That one's a little bit spicier, and to me kind of has like a black tea note. So I actually prefer this one better, but if you have Eau d'Huile, extremely similar. So yeah, I love this one for summer nights. I definitely have some va 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 voom fragrances in this list, and this next fragrance is no exception. It is gorgeous, and it is by Carolina Herrera, and this one is called Santal Ruby. Hello, sexy date night fragrance. This is a, how would I describe this? This is a woody, this is a deep, woody, slightly spicy, amber, floral fragrance. How about that for some adjectives? Oh man, this smells so good. Now there are florals in this, but this is in no way a floral fragrance. There is geranium and tuberose in here, and I tell you, they're not prominent. The prominent notes in here are, they're overshadowed by some kind of darker, richer notes. There's definitely black pepper, there is patchouli, cedarwood, cinnamon, and amber. This is a gorgeous, deep, rich, dark, alluring fragrance. It is, in my opinion, absolutely unisex. Some people might think it leans a little bit more masculine. I think anyone can wear this and enjoy it. This is one of the strongest fragrances. This is definitely the strongest fragrance in this list, but one of the strongest fragrances I own. One spray, and it'll get you to the next day. I know that because I just did an experiment. I think I sprayed it like 5 o'clock p.m. a couple nights ago, and it was going strong the next morning. So gorgeous date night, evening, summer evening scent. This to me smells similar to Fragrance du Bois New York Intense. It's a less spicier version. Yeah, it's a less spicier, maybe a little bit less sweet, but they're both very, very similar. If you like one, you're gonna love the other. So yeah, Sandal Ruby, it's a good one. The next fragrance is completely different than Sandal Ruby, but I love it just as much, maybe even more. It depends on the situation. It is a perfect summer floral. I have loved wearing it this summer, but I think it would do, well, I know it does well summer nights because I have worn it on some of these summer nights. It is by Christian Dior. It's called Sakura. This is a perfect summer floral, and I would wear this fragrance, and I have worn this fragrance when I'm going to be dining al fresco somewhere outside. There's going to be a breeze coming along, and I wanted to wear something like a real pretty, like a sundress, something really feminine and light. This one is all about the cherry blossom, but it does have some rose in here. There's a little bit of violet. There is some musk in the dry down, and there's some mimosa. It's beautiful. It's sweet and powdery. It's just a gorgeous floral fragrance to wear summer nights because it is light and clean and fresh and delicate and elegant and beautiful. I absolutely love this summer day and summer nights. Next one up is a fragrance I have given a lot of love to in other videos, but I have worn it on some of these summer nights, these balmy summer nights, and it has just been stunning. It is by Afnan, the House of Afnan, and it is called Rare Tiffany. One of my best accidental purchases of all time. This is a gorgeous fragrance, and I think it cost all of $32, and it is a huge bottle. I think it's 100 ml bottle. Gorgeous. Look, I mean, everything. My friend Veronica thinks it's so ugly it's pretty. I don't know. I kind of think it's I don't know. It just looks like summer. It's gorgeous. This is so what does it smell like? This is a sweet, fresh, watery floral with some beautiful musk, sandalwood, and caramel. It has a gorgeous sweetness from some caramel. There are some florals in here, and the floral that I pick up mostly is a very nice, it's a beautiful rose. I'm not sure the type of rose, but it's just a light, gorgeous rose. It's so pretty. I could swear that there's some fruit in here. I went to the Afnan website. They do not list fruit as part of the notes. I would think that there was like pear or lychee. It has just a little bit of a fruity touch. I don't know what that's coming from, but that's what I get. Yeah, the musk is clean and soft and fluffy and sweet. And I just love this fragrance. It has worked out so well. I think it could go from casual to actually fancy summer evening nights out. So gorgeous. Again, one of the least expensive fragrances in my collection, and it smells like $1,000,000. It is gorgeous. Next up is a fragrance that is new to my collection this month, or in the month of July. It is by the house of Inicio Parfums, and it is Atomic Rose. There is something about this fragrance and fragrances that smell similar to this, namely Delina exclusive, that is incredibly appealing. Every time I wear this, I get people tell me how amazing I smell. It's just something that's so appealing. Now, if you've heard the rumors about this smelling like Delina, the rumors are correct. I have had Delina exclusive, and I have had Atomic Rose. This one I would say is 80% Delina and 20% Delina exclusive. So you can still smell something that is like a lychee, rhubarby type of a note. It is tamed down in this one. There is sweetness from vanilla, I believe, in this one, more so than there is in Delina. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. And there is, I don't know how they do it. Inicio Parfums put some magic in a bottle. I think that is the Hedione, which is an aroma chemical that is supposed to smell like a citrusy floral. There is something about that note that is incredibly appealing. This is, if you like vintagey smelling rose fragrances, I don't think that this would appeal to you. To me, this kind of is more of a modern take on a rose fragrance, but I have worn it for a couple times on some summer nights out, and when people come in to give me a hug, now you don't want to overspray this because it is atomic. It is very strong. A couple spritzes, 2 to 3, 4 at the most spritzes. When people come in your scent bubble, or within an arm's length, they'll smell you, but it's not overpowering as long as you don't go to town with this one. I've actually worn it to a business dinner. I only did 2 sprays, just perfect. When people would give me a hug, oh my gosh, you smell so good. And when I took my dress off for the night and kind of laid it on the bed, somebody who was walking by me said, could smell that from just the dress kind of wafting in the air, and thought, oh, what is that smell that smells so good? It's just so beautiful. I think this is a gorgeous, modern rose fragrance. If you have Delina and Delina exclusive, you do not need this. But for me, there's something about it. I just like it the best out of all of the 3. Atomic Rose is a gorgeous one. The next fragrance is a fragrance that has the most sentimental value to me. It is sentimental because it is the fragrance, it was my wedding day fragrance. I got married in this fragrance, and I actually wore this on my honeymoon. So whenever I wear it, it just brings back amazing memories. Whenever I wear it, it's one of the very few fragrances that my husband can pick out. He knows what it is. It brings a smile to his face. And when I wear it, I just immediately think of Hawaii and the wonderful time that I had there. And it was just beautiful and warm. So I think of like warm summer nights. It is a fragrance that nobody, and I mean nobody, ever talks about, because I think it was discontinued. But I am on my 3rd bottle. You can get it on like Amazon and eBay. But it brings a smile to me, and it warms up my heart. And it is called Rodier by Rodier Paris. This is the EDP version. This is the most, certainly one of the most unique fragrances I have in my collection. I don't have anything like it. It has a mishmash of notes that don't seem like they would come together, but they come together and they're quite beautiful. This would be, I would describe this as an ambery floral. There are like 10 jillion florals in here. I cannot pick out a particular floral because they're really kind of overpowered by these really dark, richer notes. There is cacao in here. There's coffee in here. There's amber. There's some vanilla in here. There's labdanum in here. There is sandalwood. I mean, there's just so many notes. This is really, really pretty. Dries down sweet. There's for sure some vanilla in here. And I think that there is heliotrope because it is powdery. When I wear it, you can definitely smell the powderiness to it. Absolutely beautiful. Very sentimental, love it. Wouldn't even think about going a summer without wearing it on a night out. It's a beautiful one, Rodier. The last one is my favorite summer night amber. I love ambers, but they don't always work well in the heat. But my favorite one right now, and I've been wearing it a ton, is one by the House of Gallivant, and it is called Istanbul. I love this fragrance. This is the perfect summer night amber because it has some lighter aromatic notes that just keep it from being too heavy. It's a super bright, super airy, super light amber. It has, I know for sure it has lavender and thyme that gives it just a touch of a aromatic green note. This is so pretty. It is creamy, sweet, slightly vanillic, gorgeous. My mother, who is very picky when it comes to fragrances, I'm constantly making her decants, you know, trying to expand her horizons. She basically wears one fragrance. I've made her probably 50 decants. Really hasn't fallen in love with anything I've given her. I made her a decant of this one, and I took it to her when we visited in June, and it was so cute. I could tell she was wearing it every single day. That is not typical for my mom. She's real picky, and she smelled beautiful, and she loved it. And even though this is somewhat of a soft fragrance, I mean, you can smell it. It has a great scent bubble. It has a great sillage. It's so long lasting. I mean, it literally lasts all day. Gorgeous. Absolutely love this stunning, stunning fragrance by Gallivant Istanbul. That was it for my summer night videos. Thank you for sticking around to the very end. I'd love to hear what your summer night fragrances are or what you've been wearing this summer. Thanks again for stopping by. Thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one.